make that a little bit larger. Okay. Like now I can see at least. I need nothing to drink. I'm not prepared. Oh, my life is so funny. You know. We're a little early today, but that's because I got stuff to do. So lucky for you, you'll have the option to view the recording. So, L. Okay. Ooh, let me remember to turn my captions on. I don't know what that is. Look at me. Okay, it seemed like when I get some parts together, like, oh, look at me, I'm remembering to turn the captions on, but I don't have nothing to drink. You get one little thing at a time. You can't get all of them. So, we are not gonna be here very long today. We got stuff to do. We had Kids Week, which was Boys Week. Is just wrapped up. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I had so much fun. All of my nephews came over. At one point, it was 6 kids in this house. Whoo! It was 6 kids in this house. But we had a good time. They had a lot of stuff. They didn't want to leave, so that made me feel real good. Last year, again, if you've been around, we had this conversation. They stayed like 48 hours, and it was like, you know what? That's enough of that. But this time, it was some heartfelt leaving. People, they weren't as excited, so that made me happy. That they were happy to be here. I love that. We had a good old time. We went fishing. Oh, I wanted to just put. I didn't. We went fishing. We flew kites. We made kites. We built kites, and then we flew them, which was dope. That was a dope experience that they got to do. Uh, yeah, we had a fun time. It was a fun time. So tonight's game night. So that means that we are uh, getting ready to enjoy some Thunder basketball. So and it's real around here. So I just want to come on and get this to get this started. So if you do come in late, you are welcome to go back onto my page, any of my pages, and you can watch the live stream on Twitch, and you can watch it on YouTube. So feel free to tune in, go back, and you can check out the class there, the full class there. Okay. All right, all right. So today we're going to be talking about male sexual dysfunction. And precursor to this conversation, I built this class a while ago, not that long ago, but when I build these classes, I build them off of the research paperwork. So all of my classes comes with a resource list. If you ever want it, you can ask for it. I don't want them to think I'm spamming the thing, but I have a resource list for each one of these classes. And when I go through them, research is very linear when you're talking about sexuality. So it will say male and female. But here's the thing. At this point, we all know that there is more out there than just what we think it is, right? And it has existed for a very long time, but many times it cause violence on those people, or in even earlier times, we just made space for them, right? So this is for anyone who actually has a penis. This is going to be information that is conducive to anyone who actually has a penis, because this type of dysfunction is specific to the reproductive organs of a penis, right? So this is still important even if you do not identify as male. But the way the research is lined up, it has not caught up with what everything else we have going on yet. And so it will still say male, female. And because I do it based off of the research, um, you will see me using the exact verbiage in the research. But I am extending that to open to anyone who has a penis. This is going to be important information for you. It is going to be what's going on with your reproductive organs, what may be causing different types of issues, and what you need to look out for, and how you can advocate for yourself to address any issues that you might come across. Okay. So after this class, you're going to be able to list the 4 main types of sexual disorders and outline the 3 treatment options for male sexual dysfunction. So, a lot of times when we talk about male sexual dysfunction, everyone just thinks like, erectile dysfunction. But there are multiple categories in which male sexual dysfunction falls under, and you could be experiencing one or multiple issues in multiple categories when it comes to sexual dysfunction. The same for female sexual dysfunction, which is listed around and researched around the female sexual organs. So why is this important? Why are we having this conversation? Well, there are a lot of indicators that happen in your body that are indicators of other things. So sexual issues are considered a proven indicator of cardiovascular events. So that means that if you are experiencing issues getting blood to your genitals, then you are probably experiencing issues getting blood to other parts of your body. And those parts all lead back to your heart. Okay. So if you are experiencing erectile dysfunction, there is a high probability that you could be on a track to experience a significant cardiovascular event, such as a heart attack, stroke, things like that, right? So you have to be very diligent and not just write things off as, this is something that just happens to older people, because sometimes those could be monikers, or could be, little fairy dusts of larger problems that we need to be watching. Little glitter that you like, where is this glitter coming from, and why does it keep piling up here? And those things could help you diagnose other cardiovascular events. There is a strong link between sexual function and mental health. There is, we know that, but I don't think that we understand the scientific data surrounding that. How your sexual function, how you see yourself, how you are allowed to have sex, how you are comfortably in your body, all of those things have a profound effect on your mental health. If you do not feel seen, if you do not feel heard, if you do not feel sexually satisfied, it can cause you to have a lower quality of life. It can make you more anxious. It can make you more irritable. And it can also cause issues between you and your partner, relationship issues. Some of those are, the side effects are divorce, right? So to know that that's one of the side effects, and this is something that has a treatment plan, is why we are having this conversation today. So when you think about sexual health and sexual function, you have to include the mental health as well, because if you do not have a healthy sexual function, you probably also are experiencing a deteriorated mental health. Medications for other conditions could also affect sexual health. Medications that result in sexual dysfunction are antidepressants, antihypertensives, so that's blood pressure medications, antiandrogens, diuretics, opioids, sympathetic blockers, and anti-Parkinsonian medication. So you could have a totally different issue and be taking the medication to treat that issue, and it could have an effect on your sexual health. It can have an effect on how you have sex. It can have an effect on your desire to have sex. It can have an effect on your your ability to reach orgasm. And so there are a lot of different tiers under which that falls. Age has been suggested as a key risk factor for sexual dysfunction in men. Okay. So, and I think that because of that, that I believe that all sexual dysfunction can kind of get pushed on to age, when that is very far from the kind of thinking that we want, right? Because many things can be addressed if we're willing to have the conversation. So there are some other conditions that may also contribute to um, erectile dysfunction or male sexual dysfunction. Underlying conditions can include cardiovascular disease, peripheral artery disease, diabetes mellitus, psychological factors, testosterone deficiency, neurologic disease, chronic kidney disease, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, endocrin- endocrino- endocrinopathies. Oh, that one was hard. Thyroid disease and obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, so literally, sleep apnea can have an effect on your sexual function. Okay, so there are so many things that can cause it that we just can't put it all off to age, because if it does not, I mean, even with age, there is still, you still have access to some forms of sexual function even with age. But if you just throw everything into the pile of, this just must be what happens when you get older, then you are cheating yourself out of a healthy sexual experience. And it's not necessary, because again, there's already research around whatever you have going on, most likely. Now, is it everything? I know that everything has not been researched, granted, but a lot of things have, more things than you know. So these are the four main types of categories for sexual dysfunction. Desire disorders, okay? And again, this is not something that people automatically assign to the male population, but desire disorders absolutely exist. Low sexual desire includes a lack of interest in thinking about sex or in being sexual, either alone or with a partner. Hormonal changes, medical conditions like diabetes and heart disease, relationship problems, sexual inhibitions, fatigue, fear, depression, and anxiety can affect the desire to have sex. Okay? So when you think about being in the mood, and everybody always just like, oh, men are always in the mood. That's absolutely not true, because there is a category for male sexual dysfunction, and desire disorders are in that category. So we have to really open up our mind to the possibilities of people experiencing life very different than you've been taught, very different than, people have led you on to believe. And that absolutely a healthy adult male can still experience desire disorders. Okay? It is not above them to feel that. Next is going to be arousal disorders. Erectile dysfunction, also known as ED, is the consistent or recurrent inability to attain or maintain a penile erection sufficient for sexual satisfaction. When a person has arousal disorder, he or she may be interested in sexual activity but be unable to get any physical satisfaction from it. Men with a healthy lifestyle and no chronic disease had the lowest risk of erectile dysfunction. So when you think about erectile dysfunction, it's always this shamey conversation of, I wasn't able to get it up, or, I wasn't able to, experience getting aroused, or, the body is not reacting to the desire that I have to feel these feelings. And that is also a category. And again, when you open your mind to what could be, that there could be something wrong that's outside of I'm just too old. And when you start looking at paring down to what the problem could be, you're looking at an array of issues that you're going to have to piece through to figure out what's your specific issue. Like, where's your ticket? Where is it? Where are you falling on this disorder spectrum? The two most common diseases that cause erectile dysfunction are atherosclerosis and diabetes. So pretty much just a blockage, a blockage somewhere in your arteries or in diabetes. And the thing about those types of conditions is not only do the condition have the tendency to affect the sexual function, but the pharmacology, the actual medication for the condition, also could cause sexual dysfunction. So you're looking at, a two-ended sword, a two-ended sword, where, you have to be conscious of the condition and the medication that could be causing you to fall into this arousal category. Orgasm disorders. Premature ejaculation, also known as PE, is defined as a persistent or recurrent pattern of ejaculation occurring during partnered sexual activity within approximately 1 minute following vaginal penetration and before the individual wishes it. Now, with that, again, this is a direct quote from the material, but it is not, again, when they do this research, it's not inclusive. So it is not necessarily following vaginal penetration, because if you're penetrating somewhere else and you're also experiencing that issue, it is still considered premature ejaculation. So again, the research, it has not caught up to where we are in the world. So, if you don't have nothing to do today, if you could add to the research, we would love that. We would love it. Delayed orgasm, or anorgasmia, is the persistent or recurrent difficulty, delay in, or absence of attaining orgasm after sufficient sexual stimulation. So you could be experiencing premature ejaculation, or you can be experiencing delayed or anorgasmia, which means you are having difficulty ejaculating at all, even after the blood's gone where it's supposed to go, and you've done the humping, you should be good, or the tugging or pulling or whatever, and nothing's happening. And although there are many psychological factors such as depression, poor body image, and performance anxiety that have been explored as explanations of premature ejaculation, none have been validated with controlled research. Okay, so although that's the rumor, we have not done enough studies to say that, those are directly linked. We think that they are. So again, if you don't have nothing to do, you can do a little bit of that. All right. Pain during sexual activity, stress, fatigue, hormonal changes, and reduced libido can all lead to delayed or absent orgasm. So again, that's something that many people don't necessarily think is a byproduct of sexual dysfunction, but it is one of the categories that is researched. When you go to the doctor and you tell them you're having issues, they're going to find out which one of these you fall into. And last is going to be your pain disorders. Pain may be caused by Peyronie's disease, which is physical damage to the penis, infections like UTIs, prostatitis, and yeast infections, genital herpes, and skin conditions. So if you are having pain during sex, you can have pain during erection, which may be a sign of scar tissue buildup in the tissue inside of the penis, in the corpus cavernosum. You may have a scar tissue buildup. If you have a UTI, that's going to be pain when you get an erection and you go to urinate. If you have prostatitis, so if your prostate is inflamed, or you have elevated PSAs, all of these types of things can cause pain, which makes it less likely for you to want to engage in sexual activity. And so if that is one of the categories, they have to pinpoint why exactly are you feeling the pain, where are you feeling it, and why are you feeling it. But for almost all of these, there are treatment options. Okay. So you do not have to just disregard sexual activity because something is wrong. If you are having issues, there's likely a cure for it. And, we just have to have the conversation and, go from there. Okay. Erectile difficulties, rapid ejaculation, delayed ejaculation, and low desire are all treatable problems. Okay. The first line of treatment for premature ejaculation includes daily selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or as you all know them, SSRIs. They have topical penile anesthetics and other medications as well. So that's going to be your first line of defense when it comes to if you're having issues, is to see if it is going to be, if that's your issue, if premature ejaculation is your issue, that's what you're gonna be the first treatment option. A common cause is also hormonal imbalance. Both men and women can benefit from hormone therapy to help restore proper sexual function. Sorry, I was supposed to click that first. So, both psychotherapy and sex therapy can help with psychological causes of sexual dysfunction. Counselors can help people work through fears, stress, anxiety, past trauma, body image issues, and other issues that can keep people from a fulfilling sex life. So sometimes it's going to be bigger than the body. Sometimes you need to get what's going on in your head because your body is having a reaction to the information that your brain is telling it. And if you are moving from a space of trauma or having other, blockages in your brain, your whatever you feel in your body is not going to matter because your brain is the one that tells the body what to do. So you have to have them both on the same page. And, again, my best working relationships are in a triad with you, me, and your therapist. So we have to, we all have to work together. And lastly, people who have difficulty getting or maintaining an erection may have success with special vacuum devices or penis pumps. Penile implants are an option for some men, especially those who have lost sensation due to spinal injury. So they have lots of aids that you can use. I actually had a company that I work with called Hydromax that has one of these aids, and they sent it to me, and I sent it to one of my people, and they used it and they absolutely loved it. So don't be afraid to experiment with aids or whatever you need to make sure that, you are getting whatever it is that you need to get, and that you don't write everything off for what's going on with your body with just you being, getting older. There are some things that are going to take place when you get older, but that is not everything. There are treatable things that could be going on with your body that you may just be, scoffing off to old age. And, we don't have to do that. Right. And so, again, when we talked about the side effects of it, and we talk about the mental side effects of it and the mental health side effects of it. So maybe this is because it's my field, but I do believe that a lot of what we have going on right now is due to a lack of access to pleasure, to know how to take other people's pleasure as a responsibility. I just feel like if people were having better sex, people would be happier. And there are not very many people who are having the kind of sex they want to have with the partner they want to have it with who are not happy. So, there are, don't get me wrong, there are, but if that's not a hurdle you have to go over, it makes life a whole lot easier. So I know that many people don't think that the importance of sexual health is that deep, but it is. It is if it can make you angrier. It is if it can make you more irritable. It is if it makes you have a lower self-worth about yourself. It is if you don't see yourself as a sexual being, and you treat yourself as such, which means you will treat other people the same way. So there are absolutely repercussions to not having a healthy sexual existence, and you will wear them. People will see them, and I see them all the time. I don't tell people that because that's not my business. But again, I see people and I'm just like you don't see you, and you don't find yourself worthy, and you don't think, and that's not just a boy or a girl thing. That's a people thing, that people don't see themselves as valuable. They don't see themselves as um, worth the hassle of learning, of figuring out. And for some people, it's easier to bail on the entire conversation than it is to like face what's going on. So it's hard. It's gonna be a hard conversation. But if you can get past that part, it is important that if you are experiencing sexual dysfunction, that you talk to your doctor, because that could mean that you're on the verge of a stroke, or that you're on the verge of, you know, being diagnosed with cardiovascular disease. And if they can catch that early, you don't have to go through that. If you start noticing repeated and recurrent, now it's going to be times that you're going to experience, erectile dysfunction. There's going to be times, when you just got back from a bachelorette party, and or you took your mental health meds today, and you're just not going to get there. You're not going to get there. Sometimes you've been waiting all day, and you just get there too fast. Those things are going to happen. But we're talking about recurrent and repeated events to the point where it's starting to have an effect on your mental and your physical health. Then that's when we got to start looking at other issues. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say that, you're just going to go to the doctor one time, they're going to tell you that's what it is, and boom, Bob's your uncle. No, it's not going to be that easy. You're going to have to go through a process. And the first part of that process is figuring out what's wrong. Okay. Where are you falling? Is it the desire? Is it pain? Is it an orgasm disorder? Like where are you? Okay. Okay. So it's this. Now, what could be causing that? Do you have an underlying disease? What medications are you taking? What are you eating? What's your cholesterol levels? Like all this extra stuff. And so it's going to be a thing, and you're going to try this. Okay, well, let's try this. And that's not going to be the thing. And then you're going to have to go back and say, that's not the thing. What's the next thing? And then you have to go, okay, well, let's try this. And you're going to have to just keep doing that until you get to the thing. And so it's going to be really easy to quit. And that's also much of the reason why people don't start to begin with, because it's already a weird conversation, to have about, my weenie's not working. Like, what do I do? My weenie's not working. But to have to keep having that conversation, hey, the thing that you told me to do to my weenie the last time didn't work. So can you give me something new to do to my weenie? But it is important to me and to the weenie that you tell people what's going on, that you keep going, that you keep looking for a solution, that you keep discussing what's going on with your body so that we can get to a resolution, because there is one. And if you don't press for it, no one will. Okay. And again, if it's going to cause you to mess up your relationships, to mess up how you see yourself, to mess up how you treat yourself, to mess up how you treat your partner, to, cause you to go into a depression, I would much rather you spend your money figuring out what it is, right? Trying all the stuff they tell you to try. Some of that stuff they tell you to try is fun. I'm just gonna tell you, if you can make it through, some of that stuff is fun. Some of the stuff they might have to ask you to do will be fun. But you will have to take it upon yourself to say, this is something that I need to do and that I want to do, and that I'm going to make sure that, I'm taking care of my business and taking care of what's important. Okay? Okay. So I don't see any questions. I'm going to keep looking. Let me see what I have over here. We talking about male sexual dysfunction today. And if we don't have no questions, I'm going to get on up out of here, because I got stuff to do. Still a tent up in the middle of my meditation room. There's a tent because the kids had it. And I ain't ready to take it down because I'm sad they gone. But it's okay, because I still got next month. Next month I get the girls. So I won't be working during that week. So don't even look for me. Here's I know they give me a link. This is not it, but again, I did give the product to someone who told everybody that they knew how much it worked. So I do want you to check it out if you can. If you need it, it's a pump, and over there, it's made by some people in the UK. But over there, it's actually considered a like a class 2 medical device or something. And oh, I'm gonna put it in here. So that is the machine, and again, I sent it to one of my clients, and him and his partner raved about it. So raved about it. So, um, yeah, if you need it, check it out. There are other resources available. If you have it, don't be afraid to Google whatever you need to Google. Don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about it. If you need to go to an oncologist, do that too, because oncologists work directly with, you know, junk down there, so they might make you feel a little bit better about it. But just don't cheat yourself by just delaying the inevitable. Go and get on a treatment plan so that you can get yourself together. Okay. And you can enjoy your sex life, which is in turn going to improve your quality of life. Okay. All right. I don't see no questions. If y'all don't have no questions, I'm going to let y'all go because ain't got stuff to go do, baby. All right. See you tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Pleasure Tools Tuesday. I did not upload the weekly schedule. I did not. So let me see what it is, because I don't even know what's tomorrow. I did do it, but I don't I usually do a couple of them out, and I don't know which one is which. So let's see. Come on. Oh, that's too far down. Tomorrow, erotic literature, spicy modern stories. So tomorrow we're gonna be talking about the evolution of erotic literature and how you can be using it in your bedroom to, sprinkle a little bit extra on there. All right. All right. I will see y'all back here tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Pleasure Tools Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out. Sex Ed with Coach Catasha. Play nice. Peace.